Here comes Paul Bass, word on the street. I don't know who he found today, but I'm excited. Hey, Paul Bass.
Good morning, Babs. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm in one of the Garden of Eden spots in New Haven with Dominique and Bamboo. Do you know Rainbow Park on Edgewood Ave? It's that
No, I
pocket
can't.
park. It's right near Howe, in between Howe and Dwight. It's beautifully landscaped. Some neighbors claimed the area.
Oh,
And
yes, I
Dominique
do
just
know it.
discovered
Yes.
it. Good morning, Dominique. Say hi to Love Babs, Love Talk.
Hi, Love Babs.
I know, Dominique.
Hi. Hi, Miss Babs. How are you?
Babs, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I hear you perfectly.
Great. So, Dominique, you and Bamboo are hanging out here in the park, and I asked you if you come here often, because I don't want to pretend we didn't have a conversation. And you told me you discovered it a week or so ago, but you live nearby.
So I was walking my dog kind of just around, and then something made me turn down the street, and I was like, "What is this?" It was so beautiful.
It is amazing when you first come about it, because the sign, it starts with
Yes,
the rainbow.
Exactly.
And it's like the skate. It's almost to me like a C.S. Lewis novel or something. Like all of a sudden this world opens up you didn't know was right here on Edgewood.
It was beautiful. And I actually brought my friend here yesterday with his baby. I was like, "You got to see this park. Your baby will love it." And so I've been telling everybody about it.
So a week and a half ago, what were you doing? And it was a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
What were you doing when you discovered it?
I was just walking my dog.
Bamboo.
And then we turned down the street. And like you said, the sign just drew me in. It's beautifully laid out, all of the plants.
And do you feel the way I do, that even in winter, because a lot of flowers here, it's this amazing place. I find landscapes like this in parks just as beautiful in winter when they're less blooming with color, but they have the resistant reeds and stalks. And it's still landscape. It's kind of saying nature has its seasons and we're in it.
Exactly. No, I think seeing there's still pops of green, even the brown is still so beautiful. So it's really grounding to me.
And also, did you feel like you stepped out of the hurly-burly of the city?
Definitely. It's just a calm little oasis. So I like to come here and sit and he'll explore, smell the leaves. So it's a really good reminder to just take a pause.
It is good. And how long you've lived in the neighborhood?
We're nearing on a year and a half.
And where do you live? You don't tell me this building, but like how close? Like where?
I live kind of within like the next 3 blocks just around here. So I live in Dwight.
You live in Dwight, like on Chapel?
Mm-hmm.
So you probably walk by here a lot of times without noticing, or you just happen not to go to this block?
I just turn down the street. Yeah, I don't often turn down this street.
And is that because using a foot, right? Because everyone has the shortcuts in their routines. So do you normally like go on Elm or Chapel instead of Edgewood?
I would just go down Chapel and then actually make a right. And so something made me make a left and I had to swing back around. So it was a very serendipitous surprise.
That is nice. So Bamboo is what kind of dog?
He's a Schnauzer Poodle mix. Yeah.
And so now what do you do do you say you're a Yale Law student? And where are you from originally, Dominique?
Chicago.
Yeah. So how does it compare to other a lot of parks like this in Chicago?
There actually are a few programs like this I don't know if this is funded through a program like that, but in Chicago there's some programs to turn vacant lots into kind of neighborhood gardens, community gardens. So it reminded me of that, just the fact that there's residential buildings flanking the park. So that felt familiar, but I haven't seen one this beautiful yet in Chicago.
Oh, wow. Now, it struck me, Chicago as an occasional visitor, was the huge amounts of shoreline that opened to the public, which is so different from here. Like, I remember one night in 20 degrees, I walked for miles up and down the shore and thought, you can't do that here.
No.
But they don't have this pocket park there.
We don't have the pocket park.
So what are we doing this morning? How long you been here with Bamboo?
We've probably been here about 10 minutes before you stop by.
And how long do you usually stay?
Probably 20, 30 minutes.
Really? Now I take it you're a busy person. Yellowstone is no slouch. It's not like, you're just punching a clock all day. What are those 20? Is that how often you usually stay? 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Have you been coming every day since the week ago?
Pretty much. I've only missed a couple of days.
And so tell me about those 20 to 30 minutes.
I'll just sit here, relax, and then Bamboo, I'll let him explore. And I don't know, for me, it's time to check in. You said it's busy, chaotic, but I think having that pause, in the morning, to journal, so it's kind of like my capstone after I journal to just really set everything in before I go about my day.
Do you journal here or do you journal before you
I
come?
journal at home.
So this is the capstone to the journaling. Dominique, I have to say, I admire the way you have routines to structure your life. And one serendipitous turn out of routine after a year and a half, and you discover something in your neighborhood. That's beautiful.
No, it is. I appreciate you framing it like that. Yeah. Routine is good, breaking is better sometimes.
Babs, you have any questions for Dominique in this?
Well, you
context?
know, she is one of the law students that I get to work with in the Yale Access to Law School program. So that's how I know her.
Yes, Babs is one of our stars.
Babs, do you have any questions about Dominique's day, about the park, about
I love that she has I love that she's a Black woman with a self-care commitment in going to this park, because I know how hectic it is for her, and to find some time to sort of do that. So Dominique, talk to me a little bit about why this is so important.
It's so funny because that was literally the subject of my journaling today. I was like, I felt so good journaling. I was like, I need to make sure I am disciplined and committed to this, because I was like, I feel close to me, I feel close to God, and this feels so good. It's like, I deserve that. Like, I deserve that consistency. And so I think for me, it's just really important to nurture myself. Like, I was journaling, like, I hope that I nourish myself so that I can be generous to others, because it's like, I can't do that. Like, I cannot be my best self, both within and outside of myself, if I'm not doing what supports my wellness. And so for me, I think of it as like a discipline and a practice, not in a punitive sense, but in a restorative sense. So for me, it's really important. I appreciate you seeing that in me.
Dominique, are you in your second year?
I am.
And do you have any concentration kind of law you're interested in, or something you've discovered? Did you make any discoveries at Yale
Yeah.
Law that were like this park, that you started in one direction, Yale Law? Did you discover a class or an
Yeah.
idea? Tell
It's
me about
really
that.
interesting. So I kind of came into it always wanting to think about ways to do kind of work in kind of finance and funding and business that would ultimately support the community. And in coming here, I've learned I'm really interested in affordable housing. I think kind of before here, I was fleshing through some ideas about what were some of the core thrusts and causes of some of the problems that I was witnessing and experiencing in Chicago. I have this theory that New Haven and Chicago, or at least the South Side Chicago, are very similar, both being in proximity to large universities.
And you're from
And
Southside?
I'm from Southside, right outside
Have you-
University of Chicago.
And do they have you found New Haven as good a vegan restaurant as the Black Hebrew vegan restaurant on the South Side?
Okay, yes. Yeah,
Because I haven't found one that's quite as good. I like them here, but
you can't really
you
beat.
can't beat the mac and cheese. There's a good one here on George, but that one in Chicago,
Yeah.
nothing matched that.
No, we have some beautiful food. I came in here, I discovered, I was like, okay, I think affordable housing is really the way to address some of the things I'm interested in. And I was lucky enough to get into a class that was offered last semester with the law school, the School of Management, the School of Architecture. And they put us in interdisciplinary teams, and we worked with local nonprofit affordable housing developers to actually design from start new affordable housing developments. And right now we're actually working on bringing them to fruition. And so we're working with the Connecticut Department of Housing to get funding
awesome.
for it. So,
Which is the nonprofit?
so I was paired with Beulah Land Development
Oh, they're good. They
Corporation.
got a lot going
Oh,
on.
yes.
Other teams were paired with two other folks.
Are you working on the one on Dixwell and Munson?
So right now we're starting from scratch. So it's a little
Oh.
bit secret underway.
All right, shh, don't tell me, because we're the media.
Yeah. But hopefully there'll be some really good
So
things
it's not
to
not
celebrate.
just that project. They got something
No.
else in the works?
Yeah, so 3 projects.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth, Dominique. Am I making too much of a parallel to discovering this park? Was there a course? Was that the course that was a new discovery and a new pivot for you? Not a new set of values, not a new direction in life, but it's a newly discovered path
Exactly.
to where you want to be.
Exactly.
What's the name of the course?
So it's called Healthy Housing Connecticut, and it's the first time that it ran, but they're hoping to do it again next year. So
Oh wow, I'm
really
so
excited.
excited. We should probably let Dominique get back to her grounding herself for the day, unless you got any more questions, Babs. I'm sure you're going to see
No,
her in a moment later.
I will see her soon. I know that. So
Yes. See you soon, Ms.
All
Babs.
right. Well, this is Dominique and Paul signing off from Rainbow Park Oasis in the Dwight neighborhood on Love Babs Love Talk, WNHA Community Ravens Home.
all right. Oh man, that just made my morning. I love Dominique. I tell you, to be in community with these young people at that law school, and in this law access program, has been such a bond. Like I'm just delighted by their energy, their commitment, their love for this city, their love for my city, and the way that they're discovering the city and watching them discover my city. I don't know of a better feeling than that. I really don't. So Dominique, I appreciate you